Morning. I am walking and I'm ready to talk. So, if you're new to the channel, welcome to DestinationDionna, aka the Keptiverse. I am Deanna, the Kept Wife Strategist. I focus on assisting high achieving women in their pursuit of captivity, right? So, I help them define what kept is so that they can prepare to thrive in marriage without abandoning who they are as an individual. Listen, I love my work. And I look forward to these Monday walk and talks because although I teach every Wednesday for Sounds About Wife, where I'm giving a curated lesson of sorts every Wednesday, Monday is like what's on my heart, what comes up. It's like a free flow walk and talk. But it's valuable because I have a coaching gem in mind when I get started, but other things always come up as the discussion goes along. Today's topic is feminine contribution. So, first, let me start with what is that? What is feminine contribution? Well, it is a phrase that I have coined, trademark pending, for those who are inspired by my witty vocabulary and concepts. But feminine contribution is how feminine women contribute, right? So it is a belief that our value is in our femininity, in how we naturally show up, in our being and not our doing. Feminine contribution is you giving or paying, because I love money terminology, with your feminine value. So things like appreciation, acknowledgement, respect, um, grace, vulnerability, affection, all of the beautiful ways in which a natural feminine woman shows up and provides value with her being. Now, yesterday, my husband ran a 5K with his fraternity brothers, and he's traveling, and I was not able to travel with him. And we usually do a lot of things together. So I just was thinking, how can I still support my husband, although I can't physically be with him? So I decided to wake up and do the 5K on my walking pad at home while he was doing the 5K with his fraternity brothers. Um, I didn't tell him about this ahead of time. I kind of told him when he called me, like, they were getting ready to do their walk, and he called me to just say good morning and, all the things. And I told him, and when I tell you the smile on his face, uh, if I could just freeze time, how happy he was and excited and pleased that his wife was thinking about him, that his wife was prepared to be supportive. So I told him how proud of him I was. I told him how good he looked because he's been working out, right? Men like that too, right? They like to know that they look good to us. They like to know that we notice what they're doing. So, I'm giving him the compliments and I'm telling him, hey, we are always partners. I'm right here walking with you, right? He was so happy about it. I shared it, I put it up today. One of the videos I sent him, not the personal ones, but the one I could share. I made it into a short. So it gives you ladies an example. I mean, the short is like 15 seconds long. It didn't even take long, but It was the fact that I was thoughtful. I was aware of what he was doing. I wanted to be supportive. I made sure I looked cute. I made sure I complimented him, all the things. And that got me to thinking about how feminine contribution is my way of life, right? I teach this to my clients, obviously, but it's worth sharing with the world, right? In a day and time where, women are in all the same fields as men. And by the way, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. I'm not taking away from anything that women can do, right? We can do all things. I am just of the mindset that when a woman leans into natural gifts, natural ways that make us different from men, that is our intrinsic value, not competing with them, right? Not, oh, anything they can do, I can do too. I mean, obviously, right? But why? Why? Why not lean into the things that come natural to a woman that don't come natural to a man? Hello, hi to everyone who's checking in. Um, and in a, adopting this way of thinking, my life has become so much easier, so much more blessed. I'm healthier, I am happier, I'm more relaxed, I have more flow and ease in my life. And I just can see the natural flow in all things, not just my life, right? I see how even in marriage, it's so much easier to show up being my best self, but also creating the space for my husband to also be able to show up and be his best self because we are not competing, right? He has a lane, I have a lane, and we're cruising side by side, journeying together. So, feminine contribution. Let me give you a couple of examples. So, I told you my story, right? My feminine contribution was supporting him, you know, giving him a compliment, his words of affirmation, right? Doing something with him, but not competing with him, doing it more in support. Good morning. And looking good while doing it, right? So, what are some ways that you ladies can contribute in a feminine way daily, right? Little love notes. Doesn't have to be anything cheesy. It doesn't have to be long. It could be a post-it. You look good today. Thank you for going to work today, baby. Thank you for all you do to make my life easier. You can call out something specific that he's done recently that you really loved, right? But just pouring back into him so that he knows he's appreciated. One of the number one ways our feminine currency is appreciation. Men love to be appreciated, especially by the woman that they're doing everything for, right? Then affection, those small touches, handholds, rubbing of the back of the neck, hand on the thigh while he's driving. Like, those simple touches when you're greeting him when he comes home, when you're bidding him farewell, giving that kiss. Like finding ways to be able to be more affectionate, touching, right? Being respectful, your tone, your delivery of your messages, being mindful of his mental state, what he might have going on, making sure that you carry yourself in a way that respects your husband, respects your union. Respect is love to men. So when a woman has mastered respect in her man's terms, and this is important because what may be nothing to you may be disrespectful to him. So it's important to learn like what your man sees as respect and ask him, hey, honey, what are the things that I can do that would show you the ultimate respect? And because I hold you in such high regard, I want to know, is there anything I've ever done that you viewed as disrespectful? I don't ever want to do that again. Can you let me know about it? Men may not be as talkative as women, but one thing I do know is when you ask them questions, direct questions, for the purpose of improvement. So, not nagging, not questions that come from insecurity, um, questions that really the intent behind it is greater understanding, deeper intimacy. Men will open up. They will be vulnerable if they know you actually care and what you're asking is going to help the relationship. They would be happy to share. So, those are a few things that you can do to contribute in a feminine way in your relationship, in your marriage. Um, I do have I have two lives that I did about feminine currency, where I talk specifically about affection, appreciation, and respect. These were the foundational lessons, and I taught them about a year ago. So you can watch those. Go into the vault in my library if you want a deeper understanding of that. I do have a community. My community is private, though. We share a lot of sacred things in there, and I need to make sure that the caliber of women stays at a certain level. Um, but if you are interested, if you are looking for a place to elevate, a place where women are focused on being fit, feminine, and financed, I welcome you to my Kepti Confidential. It happens the first Wednesday of every month. Consider it like an open interest meeting, um, where I would teach a mini lesson, but then I give you the details on my community. I even show you a couple of little sneak peeks inside. Um, but you do have to attend the Kepti Confidential. There is an admission cost. That's our filter, right? If you're serious, you'll make the investment, you'll come, you'll see if you align, and if so, you'll join. So you can find that information on my website. You can go to DestinationDionna.com, and under services, it's called the Kepti Confidential. So if you're interested, go there. Now, this Wednesday is my birthday. It is my birthday. I'm turning 43 years old. I'm so excited to be at this point in my life. I'm so fit, even more feminine, even more financed, right? Um, but for my birthday, I'm kicking off the pre sale for my book, Break Up Now. And if you're wondering, like, Deanna, why would you write a book called Break Up Now when you work with women and you prepare them for marriage? Women come to you because they want to attract love. Well, my story began with having to leave an unhealthy marriage that was not honoring God, that was not beneficial for me or the other person. Um, and I went through an entire process of having to learn about myself, accept the decisions that I made, accept what I allowed, and really reconnect with God on a much deeper level to get a better understanding about marriage, what's required for it to be a healthy exchange, a healthy union, how to go about it. And all of the lessons that I learned, I put in that book. So I shared some of my own personal story, but it's not a memoir, it's not an autobiography. It is a self-help book where I literally will help you decide if you need to break up, why, if you are going to break up, you should do it now. And then if you have decided it, I give you a step-by-step plan of how to do it in a healthy way and what to do after, right? What to do after. The after, a lot of difficulty there, but I've walked that road already, and I just want to give the blueprint to other women who may need it. So on Wednesday at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time, I'll be live on my channel again doing a live book reading from Break Up Now. So if you are interested to learn more about the book and you want to support, make sure you join me on Wednesday. All right. Thank you all for taking the time out of your day today to come walk and talk with me. All right. Have a blessed day. I love you all.